This vanilla buttermilk pound cake is the best pound cake on earth, and I'm going to teach you how to make it from scratch. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. So the first thing we're going to do is get some softened butter. This is softened to room temperature, and we need about 3 sticks of that. Now this butter is Kerrygold butter, but you can use regular butter if you want to. Next, you're going to add in 3 cups of granulated sugar. Now, you're going to beat this on high speed for about 5 to 10 minutes until it becomes lighter in color. While your butter and sugar is mixing, you're going to crack in your eggs. And I'm using about 6 eggs, and they're all at room temperature. So make sure that you do that because it is very important that everything emulsifies into the sugar and butter. So you want to make sure that your eggs are room temperature and they're ready to go. Now, I've seen people use 5 eggs instead of 6 eggs. In this recipe, I was taught to use 6 eggs. So now that my butter and sugar has combined and it is white and pale in color, I'm going to scrape down my bowl. Then I'm going to add in vanilla extract to my eggs, and I'm going to put in my eggs one at a time on low speed. It's very important that you mix your eggs on low speed and go one at a time because you want all of that to emulsify with your butter and sugar. Also, you want to make sure that you see no yellow egg yolk before adding in the next egg. That is super important, and this is where a lot of people pound cakes go wrong. So make sure you guys are doing that, and you can see me going in slow one at a time. It looked like my mixer is on high speed, but it's actually sped up in the editing part of this video. So, I do have the mixer on low speed. Once you get to your last egg, you're going to want to scrape down before adding in your flour and buttermilk mixture. This is very important because sometimes the yolk can get kind of nestled at the bottom. So you want to make sure all of that is combined. So what I'm going to do now is measure out my whole fat buttermilk. I'm using whole fat buttermilk, but you can use 2% for me. Fat equals flavor, and the more fat that you have in your buttermilk, the more flavor is in a pound cake. So before I add in my flour and buttermilk, I'm going to give it a final mix in my mixer. Today I'm using White Lily all-purpose flour as my flour of choice. I think it's better than cake flour, just in my opinion. What I'm going to do is add salt and baking powder, and we're going to use one of those old school sifters to kind of sift that baking powder, salt, and flour into like a plastic container. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to add 2 scoops of that flour mix and then going with that buttermilk. We're going to alternate and end with flour. We're starting and ending with flour, excuse me. But you just want to make sure everything is emulsified, and just so you guys know, this is on low speed. And I'm just making sure everything is well combined into the cake batter before I add in the next ingredient. Now with this part of the recipe, you want to be a little bit careful because you don't want to over mix your batter and create gluten strands. Gluten strands is what make your pound cake tough. So be careful. I know it looked like my mixer is going fast, but I sped up this video. It's really on low speed, which is on 1 or 2. So you're going to get the rest of your flour mixer and you're going to streamline that into your cake batter. Once everything is in there, you want to stop the mixer immediately and you want to mix by hand. So I'm using a spatula, and you can see that my cake batter is velvety smooth. It's no lumps. I can move my spatula freely and it doesn't get stuck. It is thick. It is like a thick pound cake batter, but it's still soft, and you will see that at the end result. So now I'm going to put this in a pound cake pan. Now this is a removable bottom pound cake pan. You can find this at Walmart for about $12, or you can use one of those regular bunnet pans if you like. But you want to make sure it's a 13 cup or more pound cake pan. You can see me slowly adding the pound cake batter on each side of the pound cake pan to make sure that it's even. And after that, I'm going to tap it to try to get all of the air out of it. And I'm going to use a spatula to kind of smooth it out at the top. This is just kind of, what I'm doing. You don't have to do this. Just kind of makes it look a little bit better. Now, this is going in a preheated 325-degree oven for 1 hour and 30 minutes. I would check between 1 hour and 10 minutes to make sure that you're not over baking this. Every oven is different, but you're going to have a golden brown exterior, and then whatever you insert, a toothpick or a butter knife, it should come out clean on all sides before you're ready to start glazing. Now the cake is going to be moist, so you do see a little bit of particles on my butter knife. You want to let this cool for at least 10 minutes before trying to remove it. While the cake is cooling, we're going to make our vanilla glaze. So I'm going in with 3 tablespoons of whole milk. Now you can use 2% milk if you like. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of vanilla extract and then some butter. And I'm going to let that melt in the microwave before adding in my powdered sugar. The butter is going to help the glaze set up really well on top of the cake, not be super runny. So we're going to throw this in the microwave to make sure there's no lumps in it before adding it to our cake. And I'm just using a measuring cup to just kind of put that on the cake. And you can kind of see that I'm trying to get every part of the top of the cake. And once I got it on top of the cake, I'm going to use something to kind of push it to the edges to create those little drip parts, and then let it solidify. And you can kind of see that it has a nice little glaze on top and is ready to eat. You can see that the interior of the cake is super moist and has a nice crust on the edges. It has a nice drip line and it looks good. It tastes good. And I promise you guys are going to love this recipe. Also, the pound cake recipe and my pound cake ebook will be in the bio. And make sure you guys like and subscribe for more. Peace out.